How's it going, gents? Alright, here we are on another little WR adventure. The theme of this adventure is the cold. Basically trying to tackle the coldest temperature I've ever experienced camping. So the coldest I've ever camped is about 0 degrees, with just using a summer sleeping bag. It's going to be much colder. Tonight, where I'm going, it's going to hit -6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty much as cold as it gets in Australia. It's pretty hard to find much colder than that, just like randomly camping. It's a specifically cold night tonight, and I'm going up a mountain called Lake Mountain. It's going to be snow up there, so I'm still trying to pack relatively light, so I just got a tank bag, tail bag, backpack. I do have a tool bag as well, which has just got like another kind of sleeping bag liner in it, but I'm gonna venture up now, trying to get up there before it's dark. It's after work, it's Friday night. I've got some tinnies to drink. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Get a campfire going, see if I can survive the cold, but let's get up there and get to it. All right, this is where I'm camping. Bike's there, setting up fire in a second. Now, there's not a shit ton of snow. There's a heap of snow about 500 meters up the road, but it's a car park and shit, and I don't want to be caught camping down there, so that shows you right there. There is snow around. Ooh, frick. Slippery as shit. There is, yeah. And it's freaking cold, and that was a freaking cold ride. This is going to be a cold night. I'm really struggling to get a fire going, so what I've done is I've tipped my bike over, and I'm just taking petrol out of it. I've got so much petrol, I'm just getting petrol out of the safari tank, just to get this fire going. It's just, I've spent a good 45 minutes and the fire keeps going out every 5 seconds. Whoa. So I'm helping it with a bit of Patronus. But I'm gonna struggle to keep this baby going, so I'm gonna keep working on this. Hopefully I can get this baby going, because it's freezing. This is freaking miserable. I'm just not Bear Grylls enough. This fire's been burning for an hour and there are no coals. Like, it just goes out. It's just freaking miserable. None of this shit's actually freaking burning. Everything's wet. We're running this fire on petrol from my safari tank, thinking that if I just keep it going long enough I get a coal base, but nope. I have no idea. It's just all the wood is wet. There's no, like, other than like if I had something to chop down a freaking dead tree that's up off the ground, the fire just goes out. I've gone through so much kindling. All the sticks that weren't wet I've found are burnt in there, and the fire just goes out. Look, it's just going out. So I'm going to give up, which is super depressing, not having a campfire. But I mean, I've spent like over an hour on this shit. I'm just sick of it. It's that freaking cold. I don't know how you start a fire in the snow. Like, it's not even like there's snow around. There's only little bits of snow, but it's just so cold. Ugh. Oh well, time to get drunk, sitting alone with my flashlight. Luckily I always keep a Cliff Bar. That will be dinner tonight. And then I got some lollies, and I got these awesome little things. These are called Jack Daniel's American Serve. So these are tiny little cans, these little mini cans, and they have 10% Jack Daniels in them and a bit of Coke. So they're about 2 standard drinks each. So 4 of these is like 8 normal drinks, and they're so lightweight. So I'm gonna sit around, freaking neck them, set up my sleep system, which I'll show in the morning because it's just freaking too dark right now. Get all my sleeping bags. It's cold right now. I'm pretty warm actually, just because I've got a lot of clothes on, but I've just been working at trying to get this pathetic fire going. Ugh, what a shambles. I did not anticipate not being able to get a fire going. I mean, you got to raise up the temperature a lot more to get shit to start combusting. When I was reading about this, I was reading about how to build a fire in the snow, and they say it's pretty freaking hard. And yeah, oh man, I just couldn't find enough freaking, like, even all this grass shit, it's all alive, so it just started smoking and stuff, and there's just nothing dead around here really. Like, all this wood that looks really good is all soaked, like it's just wet. So, giving up, let's just watch some Netflix and prepare for the cold. It is It's 8 o'clock now. I got here at like 6, so I've been working at this 5 like 2 hours. What a shambles. Alright, in my shitty bivvy. I am toasty warm now. I know it's going to drop a lot colder during the night. It's going to be about 4 AM. It's going to hit about -6, so I'm just hoping it doesn't snow. There was a little bit of fluttering of snow, but my bivvy is completely waterproof, so it'll handle it. I've got some more jumpers and stuff here. If it does get cold, which I know it'll get cold, I've got gloves and a few other things. I'll chuck them off if I get too cold, but yeah, it's like 9 PM now. Watch some Netflix and freaking drink some tinnies. Alright, it's like 11 PM and it's cold as sheesh. This is my breath. I don't know if you can see. It's like I'm smoking. It's just crazy. There's the moon over there. There's a big ass moon cranking. The wind has picked up. I don't know if you can hear it. It's really cold. Yeah, I think once I get in the sleeping bag, I'm half in the sleeping bag right now. I think when I'm fully in there, I'll be right. Hopefully, or else I'll die. Bye. Well, gents, I'm still alive. It was freaking cold. As you can see from my motorcycle gear, it's all ice. Top of my tank bag, ice. Backpack. Got to -6, I saw. Only for a little bit though, at about 5 AM. And went back to -5. I think now it's about -3. It's like 6:30 in the morning. Right there, look at my tank bag. A little bit freaking cold, eh? Oh shit, there's frost on me. Ah! There's ice everywhere. It was freaking cold, man. But, I'll have to say, my sleep thingo, all my sleeping bags, everything I did, worked brilliantly. I wasn't even shivering. I was quite good. So this is where I camped last night. Pretty awesome. Nice clear sky, I could look at the stars all night. That was pretty cool. Anyway, I'll get up and I'll freaking show you how I slept in -6 degrees and survived. All this frost that was on my mattress, there's ice on the bivvy. So this is what I slept in last night, -6 degrees. So I had a sleeping mat, just like one of those self-inflating ones. Then a bivvy. So this is kind of like just like a sleeping bag made out of tent material. So it's waterproof and breathable. So it keeps like otherwise this frost would have melted and would have got my down sleeping bag wet. So I couldn't just have a sleeping bag. I've been in the torrential rain in this bivvy and it was fine. Then I had just a pillow. I had another mattress in here. So when you're sleeping when it's really cold, you kind of need 2 mattresses just to keep the cold from coming up through the ground. I had down sleeping bag rated to about -10. I mean, that got to -6, and yeah, I mean, it did alright. The idea of what I was going to do, I was going to have everything in the bivvy. I was going to have 2 sleeping bags and a sleeping bag liner in the bivvy, but it was so hard to fit everything in, just because the bivvy's not that big. So I had my summer sleeping bag, which is rated to about 5 degrees. I was trying to put this inside this sleeping bag, but I couldn't do it, so I just had it stuffed in there. And I also just had the sleeping bag liner stuffed in there. But really, it was mainly just this one sleeping bag, and it's really the bivvy that makes the difference. It does keep you super warm, because I mean, it's like sitting in a trash bag. I mean, it's breathable, but not super breathable. You know, I wouldn't want to run a marathon inside that. It's yeah, there's a bit of condensation and a bit of freaking trouble breathing, but frick, it's cold. Have a look at my tank bag. There's still snow around, but the sun's out now and it's going to be about, I think about 4 to 5 degrees up here, so it'll be pretty warm. I'm going to pack this shit up and then enjoy the ride down. I couldn't really film much coming up because it was just dark, so this is all just frost. But I'll film coming down. There's a whole lot of snow up there, so I'll ride through the snow and you can see that. Alright, all packed up. Let's see if the bike will start after a -6 degree night. Piece of cake. Easy peasy.
I hope the road isn't ice. It'd be very skatey on a WR. So I just camped about, I don't know, a minute down this road or so. As you can see, when I come up, there's a lot more snow. I was just nowhere to camp, really. That's why I camped in the first kind of clearing. I think the road should be right. It's pretty sunny, so any ice should have gone away by now. Alright, gents. Found some better snow. You Europeans and Americans are probably laughing at me. Probably like, this ain't snow. Not a lot of snow in Australia, so this is, you know, the vast majority of Australia doesn't get any snow whatsoever. I don't even know if there's any snow in South Australia at all. I don't think there's any hills high enough. Only in Victoria and New South Wales do you get any, really. Alright, I'm going to ride all the way down now. Hillsville to Lilydale. So this is Lake Mountain, kind of where I camped for the night. It's a little kind of, I guess it's not free, but kind of just a little toboggany alpine resort. It's a good drive up here. Used to do this in my GDR up here. It's a good road. Anyway, yeah, that was my freaking my first snow camping adventure. It's the coldest I've ever camped. Negative 6 it got down to, only for a little bit. I think I saw it at like 4 AM. It was like -4, and then I think I woke up at like 5:30 or something and it was -6, and then by like 8 AM it was back up to 0. But yeah, it's good to know that. I just really, that bivvy sack is the best thing, because I've camped in about 4 degrees with that down sleeping bag, and I was starting to get cold. And even though I had my other sleeping bag and my sleeping bag liner, I couldn't fit them in the bivvy bag, so I didn't have them on me or anything. They were just kind of stuffed in the side, just trying to give me some extra warmth. But I think it's just that my main, it's rated to -10 comfort, which I think is a bit of a laugh. I don't think you'd be comfortable just with that at -10. But I mean, it worked to -6, so yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, gents, thought I'd take you along a little shakedown of really cold weather motorcycle camping. You guys in Europe and America, this is probably a summer day for you guys. But -6 Celsius is pretty much as cold as you're randomly going to come across in Australia. I've been in the middle of the desert, which gets very cold at night. Look at this dude, freaking riding up here, what a psycho. Middle of the desert, which gets very cold in the middle of winter at night time, got down to 0. So unless you're in the Victoria High Country, or you know, the snowy mountains, blue mountains of New South Wales or something, middle of winter, it's probably not going to get any colder than -6. I did look it up. The record in New South Wales, Charlotte's Pass, the record lowest temperature ever recorded in Australia is -23. So that is quite a lot colder, but that's like in the 1800s and shit, and before freaking global warming and shit. So I don't think it'll ever get that cold ever again, thanks to people thanks to two-stroke motorcycles polluting our airways and making it nice and warm so we can ride motorbikes every day. This video is sponsored by two-stroke motorcycles, bringing warm summery days for everyone. Anyway, peace out, gents. Later. This is a good road, man. Kind of wish I wasn't on knobbies and a bit skatey. No, you still have fun in slow speeds. Still better than sitting on a freeway, that's for sure. On a mini adventure, gonna take the WR250R, just on a little overnighter, a little mini adventure, just on my own, testing out the WR in the ultra light adventure setup.